Welcome back to the Achieve Your Apex podcast with Chad Hyams. I'm the author, I'm the host, I'm just the guy here talking to myself, hoping you're out there listening. And if you're finding value in going through the Achieve Your Apex best-selling book with me through this podcast, and once we get to the end of the book, we'll have a lot more things to be bringing you. I hope you'll bring somebody else on the journey. You see, achieving any apex is a lot more fun when you've got someone there to help you. We're going to talk about something today about the power of those people around you. Not going deep into it, that's a future chapter, yet it's going to definitely help you. You see, these last few episodes, we've been talking about the plan that goes along with your goal because we've been building out goals. We saw the satisfaction that came with things like Legos and jigsaw puzzles and having pre-made sets for us. And then last week, we talked about how to actually build the plan. Those three key things that we need to build a plan. Go back, check out last week's episode. You'll get all those three things and the details that come with them. Yet I want to dive today into the most important part of any plan to achieving a goal. And that's right up here. That's right. I'm pointing to my head for those of you who aren't watching this on YouTube and you're just listening to the podcast. It's what's going on in our head that's going to help us with our goals. So what I want you to understand is that coming up with a goal, that's thinking, okay? Making the plan actually happen, that requires effort from us. And if we've created the plan properly, it should be hard. Yes, we want to make it as easy as possible to achieve any goal. And I'm not saying it has to be hard, complicated. I'm just saying it has to be hard. We're going to put in a lot of effort. If you go back a few episodes, I talked about the acronym TIME, and you'll remember the E stood for we have to put in effort to make a goal actually be considered a goal. What I want you to think about is very few people fail at a goal because the plan was actually wrong. What usually happens is we lose the mental focus or we run out of gas completely because we didn't plan and use our mind correctly to help us to achieve this goal. We've made goals too hard. We've thrown too many things in front of us, whatever it would be. We're going to remember to keep it simple like we talked last week because that's going to help us in our head, okay? What we need to understand is we just have to follow the plan. Don't overthink it. A pilot gets on an airplane and before they take off, he has a checklist. He has a plan that he goes through to make sure the plane is safe to fly. You'd be very thankful to know that he actually does this. It doesn't matter that he's been doing it a long time. He still follows the plan. Okay. First thing I want you to remember in the plan is go hard. Why would you go at anything half-assed? Anything. Why would you do anything half-assed? I don't understand that. Go no ass or go full ass. That's right. You got to go hard at anything you're doing. We don't just say, oh yeah, I'm going to go do a marathon. I like to run and everybody understands them. So forgive me if I use the analogy too much for you. We don't say I'm going to go do a marathon and then just, casually go for a walk for 26.2 miles. No, we run, we work at it. Hopefully we trained for it. We don't say we're going to go climb a mountain and then just casually put on some flip-flops and start walking up some mountain. No, we probably get the hiking boots. We probably maybe even train. We might get trekking poles. We pack water with it, whatever it is. We go hard. We don't just say, yeah, whatever. I'm going to go out for a stroll. Now, you can go out for a stroll. That's different. Not on the way to your goals, though. You've got to go hard for it. And here's the thing. When it gets hard, you got to keep going. See, that's the mental part up here. And how many times do we hear about, oh, Tom Brady was not the fastest quarterback. He was actually really slow. Tom Brady did not have the strongest arm of any quarterback. Tom Brady had the mental. Okay, Tom Brady had it in between the ears. And that's what made him such a great leader and such a great quarterback in the league. Please don't send me stuff arguing how Tom Brady this or Tom Brady that, whether you're a fan or you're not a fan. He's just a guy who really excelled at what he did. You can do the same thing too, and people will talk about you, or maybe they won't. And that's okay because you still did a great job and you'll know it, whether you're making headlines or not. Now, you may have heard the famous quote from another guy who went pretty far, who did not half-ass most things until later in his career, and that was Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike, he started half-assing things. That's why he got into the situations he got into later in his boxing career. He didn't at the beginning, okay? Mike Tyson has a very famous quote we've all heard probably, whether you knew it was him or not, that said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. You see, if you have a plan and you are going hard, even when you get punched in the mouth, hopefully not literally, even when you get punched in the mouth, you just keep going. Okay? It's going to happen to each of us. Here's something else you need to do. Keep your mental strong on the way to achieving any goal. And that is you need to take breaks. What? You just told me to go full ass, Chad. You said don't half ass this. Now you're telling me to take breaks. Yes, you need to take breaks. If you went on a drive across the country, you would take breaks. No, Chad, I can do it without sleeping. Okay, your car can't. It needs gas. Even the guys in NASCAR take breaks. They put on new tires. They put gas in the car. It's not going to keep going around the track that many times if they don't. So I want you to understand you need to take breaks as well. Whether that's a meditation session that you start every day or you finish every day with to recharge yourself, or maybe it's in the middle of the day just to bring in some of that energy. Maybe it's a walk that you have on a trail to get some nature, to get something in you. Maybe it's sitting down and just playing Angry Birds. I don't know, I've never played Angry Birds. It's just everybody knows Angry Birds, right? Maybe it's playing Angry Birds on your phone because that just turns everything off and let you recharge. Maybe it's reading something motivational. Maybe it's listening to a podcast, hopefully achieve your apex, right? Maybe it's doing something that just brings you refueling, just like you would do for a car. Make it regular, make it consistent, and make it timed, right? If playing that game or reading that book, but set a timer so you don't then realize, oh, hours have gone by because I didn't really want to get back to my goal. So I made the excuse to stay in this game. Set a timer, get back to it. You've put the gas in the tank. It's ready to go. And the third thing in here for your mental to help you make any goal become a reality with the plan in front of you is you've got to visualize that finish. You've got to visualize it and know what's coming. You can be sure we hear about all of those overnight successes. And you know, there's no such thing as an overnight success. There's just an overnight media success, right? That athlete, that actor, that, oh, I don't know, singer, what dancer, whatever it is, salesperson, they've probably been working at it for a while. They've probably had the visualization of them up on the stage, or them, as most kids do, at least many, kids that I knew grew up thinking we were hitting the game-winning home run or throwing the game-winning Super Bowl touchdown or sinking that free throw to whatever it is. Put yourself in a position where you're always visualizing it. We do it so well as a kid, picturing ourselves as the ballerina on the stage, or picturing ourselves as the leader of whatever organization it is that we wanted. As we get older, we forget to visualize the finish. You've got to know what it's going to look like so it keeps you focused. So when you start to fall off the path, it's easier to get back onto the plan that you had in front of you. Take a moment right now. Take a moment. If you're not driving while you're listening to this, take a moment, close your eyes. Picture whatever goal you're working towards right now. Because if you've been listening to the Apex podcast, you should have set a goal. You should have been creating a plan. Now I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about it. I want you to picture what it looks like. What does it smell like? What does it sound like? How do you feel? Who's around you? How do they feel? What are they saying? That should bring you back to a focus of your success in achieving the goal in front of you. Now, if you were driving, hopefully you had your eyes open. Everybody else, open your eyes. Feel refreshed. Go recharge yourself and go hard all the way to the finish line. Until our next episode, as always, keep climbing.